Hey folks, Mark with Bunker Building and Remodeling here. We're in North Andover with a good client of mine, Amy. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. We just wrapped up your bathroom. How long ago?
Maybe about a month.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we got the final inspections all signed off. How did this all come about? We've been talking a while, right?
Yep.
You had a leak originally in an old clawfoot tub.
Yep, we did. So the only bathroom upstairs was the one with the clawfoot tub, and we decided we'd like to have a full bath up there, but we're limited because of the size of the bathroom, not being able to fit a shower in there.
Right.
So we did know from a previous renovation that the joist had been cut underneath when that clawfoot tub was put in sometime back in the 1920s. So we knew it was more than just moving out the old fixtures and putting new stuff in, that we really had to do some repairs.
I've got some pictures. The joists were almost half to 3/4 of the way notched out of the top.
Yep, and there were 4 of them, I think, across.
Yes.
So it didn't look good.
It's been holding up for years, but how and why, we don't know. So, and originally we were contemplating an engineer to get into and engineer a way to solve it.
Yep.
And then I started doing some head scratch and was able to propose our fix to the building inspector, and he signed off on it, so we didn't have to go into that whole engineering thing and everything.
Right.
But we doubled up the joists, we glued them, made it all solid again, and here we are.
Yep.
I got a few questions.
Sure.
How would you describe the overall experience working with Bunker Building and Remodeling from start to finish?
So it was great. Honestly, we had talked to a few contractors a couple of years ago when we tried to do this project, and things weren't working out. We just really hadn't found the right company that could address the issue of the cut joist in like a satisfactory way to us, and just someone that would be able to pay attention to details as much as we wanted them to.
And where did you find us?
We're here in North Andover, so we've seen the trucks around town. You've done some other projects in the neighborhood, and a quick search with Google shows your name comes up for the area.
Beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate that. So you did your homework, you did your background checks. How well did our team communicate throughout the project? I know Jason ran this job for the most part.
Right.
And we were at the office, but we tried to keep up on emails. Was that satisfactory to you?
Yep. I would say we definitely traded a lot of emails. There's just a lot of details and things that have to be gone over. Jason was great. I was here most of the time when he was coming and going, and it was, he checked in every morning about what his plans were, and checked in when he was on the way out about, what he had done and what he still had left to do. So I felt like I always knew where things were at.
Perfect. I appreciate that. I kind of know the answer to this. Did the project run smoothly and stay on schedule? I would say no.
It was smooth, but the on-schedule part, I would say it definitely took longer than we thought it would.
Yeah.
I think the initial estimate was 6 to 8 weeks, and we've done some big projects before, so that we know that always kind of pushes the longer end of that. But there were some things that slowed us down a bit, and it ended up being closer to 3.5 months or so before things were finally signed off on.
Yeah, and a lot of hiccups along the way. We had plumbing we had to reroute that we didn't know until we were in there, vent pipes and everything.
Yep.
I think there was a little bit of give and take with it. Was it the vanity or the tile? We weren't sure. It was coming in at different times, so not everything was here.
Yeah, I think the pieces were here. The one piece we had to wait for was the glass for the shower.
Yeah.
That was one piece that we waited for. The other stuff I think was all here. There were some unexpected smaller things that had to be fixed along the way. And we definitely waited for the inspectors.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They held us up quite a bit. And that goes with any project, really. Do you feel confident in the long-term durability and warranty of the work we did here?
I hope so. This is my forever bathroom. That was the plan going in.
Right.
So far, we've been using it for a little less than a month, but
how has it been? I mean, when I was here last, you hadn't even started using it yet. You wanted the dust to settle. Yep. You wanted the finish paint on, so it's been working well.
Still patching up a few spots on the paint and a few little trim things, but so far so good. We like the fixtures that we chose, and everything's great.
Perfect. And your husband Chris isn't here.
Right.
What if he was here sitting with us? What would he have said in regards to the project and dealing with us?
The same things. I think most of the time I was the one communicating with Jason as he came and went at the beginning of the day, but it's, we always had a good handle on what was going on, and Chris was on most of the emails, so even though he wasn't always here, he knew what was going on.
Sure. Another thing, there's nothing is perfect in this world, right?
Right.
If we could do one or two things better that we did not do here, what would you say that we could do better to improve for, say, a future client like yourself?
I think probably there were a couple of places where maybe if things had been ordered a little earlier, like the shower glass, they might have come in a little bit earlier.
Sure.
The shower glass. And I don't know, maybe just calling the inspectors hourly to see if can you come tomorrow? Can you come tomorrow?
And you call the city hall, the inspector's office, you talk to their secretary, and they dispatch it to them.
And then they say, sure, I'll be there on Tuesday, and then it's not Tuesday anymore. So
going back to that whole Joyce thing, fortunately for us, I have a good friendship with the commissioner, so I was able to call him on the side. It was actually on the weekend. I was looking to leave him a voicemail, but he picked up and kind of busted my cookies about it. He was the one that helped us get it rolling.
Yeah, and I think that definitely helped, because I think that we would have had another kind of slowdown in things if we needed to wait for an engineer to come up with plans that then had to be followed, and that would probably trigger another inspection. And I think that made the whole thing a little bit smoother, that we didn't need to use an engineer.
And like with any remodel job, there's always that unforeseen. We remove a wall, remove a floor, we find stuff. How was our transparency moving forward with that as far as change orders and stuff? Was that kind of presented clearly?
I think the first one I didn't really know was coming. There was something in the wall that had to be moved, or the wall needed to be shimmed out a little bit, and I didn't know about that. But after that, I did know about all the changes, and you sent an email outlining the payment and schedule for completing those.
If we were to rate this in the star rating, which would you rate your experience with us on a 1 to 5 star experience?
I would give it 5 stars. We have the bathroom we want, and I think the timetable, where things slow down is kind of like beyond anyone's control.
Right.
It's nice to keep it moving along as quick as possible.
Sure.
With the bathroom upstairs being unusable and the room next door to it kind of like threw a wrench in a few plans.
And you've got this vintage house that's amazing, and you've restored it pretty pristine with all these little antique things you've been putting back in the home that the previous owner took out. So it was a little challenging for us to getting some of the sheet goods up to the 2nd story, but it was without
worked.
Damaging walls.
I can't believe the shower walls fit up the stairwell. But
when we came I remember talking to Jason, we had plans on cutting the shower walls in half.
Yep.
But we said we had to try it.
I'm so glad they got up there in one piece.
And no seams and nothing.
Amazing. Yeah, and the shower base I know was heavy, not as large, but definitely a challenge to get up the stairs. And one other thing about that too, I really appreciated how Jason was able to replicate the woodwork that's already in the rest of the house up there.
Yeah.
So we don't have a room that looks different. It's like tied in, the baseboards are the same, and he reused a lot of the pieces, the trim work, the corner blocks and the door casings. He was able to reuse most everything, which I think really helped create a cohesive look up there.
And the beadboard we repurposed, or you repurposed.
We did.
Yeah, we took it over and turned it around.
Jason very carefully took that off, which is definitely a slower process than just ripping it all down.
Yeah, because it's old and brittle.
He took that off so that Chris and I could take the nails out and put it back up, and it looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. And your choices, we'll show some pictures, but that basket weave tile was amazing.
Yeah,
that really, I've gotten more compliments on that. A couple of pictures online, and the freestanding vanity. It kind of all comes together.
Yeah.
And I appreciate what you've done in the house. The old vintage windows, the old double hung windows, and you've had them all restored previous to us coming here. But yeah, it was good. So all in all, a great experience?
Definitely.
Would you recommend us to another family member or client?
Absolutely.
Perfect,
We'll see you in a
perfect.
few years for the kitchen, maybe.
Awesome. I'll still be here.
All right.
Thank you so much.